had the story Hey Kiddo by Jarrett Karuska. This was a story concerning home life and addiction. The story is set up like a comic book. It covers home life. Jarrett is the main character, and he is born into a family of a mother who suffers from addiction and a father who is unknown. Jarrett lives with his mother's parents who raise him due to his circumstances. He sees his mother every once in a while. She is in and out of jail and rehab. Jarrett uses drawing as a way to escape from his world and the reality that he lives in. He goes through life trying to figure out who his father is. For my interactive activity, I was going to start out by asking how many students in the class grew up living with someone else besides their own parents. And then following that, I was going to ask how many students in the class knew someone who grew up living with someone else besides their parents. I wanted to get this information from the class so that we could all see how common this is in today's world, and we may be faced with this as teachers in our future classrooms, having a student who may have this type of home life. So I wanted to make it aware that this may be something that we have to deal with in the future, and it's important to know how to make sure that we can meet the needs of each child who may come from this certain home life. The home environment of a child can affect a child's brain development, and statistics show that children who grow up in these environments are more likely to drop out of high school. So there are a couple accommodations, modifications, and differentiation that we can use in our classroom to help these students out. Students are more likely to not receive help at home for educational purposes, therefore school readiness is usually a concern that arises. So to help these students receive the most out of their school day, you can allow the student to have extended time to complete assignments, tests, or projects. You can also allow the student to test in a setting that feels more comfortable to them. Allowing the student to sit in the classroom where they learn best is also another way to help. You can also allow the student to be provided with extra notes on a lesson or be tutored outside of class. The one thing that I want to note is that some students may not need any differentiation in the class, but it's important to make sure that they are getting the best that they can out of each day. There were benefits of reading this book for future educators. This gave me a better understanding of how I can support children with this type of home life. It is important for these children to find a hobby or interest that brings them joy. This was displayed through drawing throughout this book. This also allowed me to understand that these children may act out in hopes to receive attention from you that is absent at home. This is where it's important to be patient with these students and learn how to best handle these types of situations. I've also learned that you may be the only constant in their life, so you may be the only support that they receive daily. This again taught me to be patient with these students because they are trying to do the best that they can. These children may turn to you in more than just academic needs, and that is our job to continue to support them in all that they need. My reflections surrounding the book's topic. This book opened my eyes to understand how home life looks different for each student. It made me understand what these children go through on a daily basis. These children need extra love and support throughout the school day. This book has made me want to connect and help with these children starting now in college, even before I get into a teaching career. I would definitely recommend this book to all education majors. It really opened my eyes to see how each child is different and unique in their own way. It has taught me that we should be more patient and loving with these children because we need to be their constant in their life that they may not receive at home. As I end my presentation, I wanted to discuss a quote that I found that I feel is fitting for my topic. It states, "Almost every student you meet may be fighting a battle you know nothing about. Stop, think, then make your response accordingly." I feel as this is a very important quote to learn as we begin our journeys as teachers. This may help a student have a better day if you know the right things to say to them. I will leave you with this. Every kid is one caring adult away from being a success story. Make sure that you leave that lasting impact on your students and your classroom.